Alright, so students, you want to open your topic on that section there, which talks about learning from the masters. You will see two instructions there, 1 through to 2. The first one requires you to define the words from the main vocabulary list. Alright, so you have appropriation, pastiche, grid, scale, proportion, imitate. Right, so you need to type your answers in Google Classroom, and the second one requires you to create a pastiche or an appropriation of one of the image that I sent. Alright, so in the first thing you want to do is to define the terms. Alright, and in the second you would need to create a pastiche. Alright, so let me go to the section that speaks about how you define a word. Now, when you type in the word, you need to ensure that you put, for example, appropriation, and then you put definition in art. This way, you can get the closest answer to a definition that is in relation to art. Alright, so that is how you go about creating your definitions. Also, you want to look at this PowerPoint presentation. In this presentation, I will basically explain to you what appropriation is, and I'll show you some samples and what pastiche is, and I'll also show you a sample of that. Alright, so let us look at what pastiche is, and then we can first start off with appropriation. So appropriation basically refers to using pre-existing objects or images in their art with little transformation of the original. So as we can see down here, you see where the original is on the left and the appropriation is on the right. Basically, the artist just added a few things to make changes to the original. So you'll see that they added a mask, a gloves, and the image was lightened somewhat so that it appears a little bit brighter. Now what pastiche is, it's similar to appropriation, however it's copying styles and using them together to create one work. Alright, so if we look at appropriation, you can see that it's similar to pastiche. However, pastiche use more styles involved in it, so it has a little bit more to it than just making simple changes. Right, so in the pastiche, you can see where color is added to the original. You can see where the background is changed. You can see where the image has been lightened some more. So basically, you make changes to the original image, or you edit the original image into a form or style that is appealing to you, but you're still supposed to see the pastiche, and you're supposed to see the original. So you're supposed to see the original, and you're supposed to see the pastiche or the added things that you have done to it. Alright, so that's basically how you go about creating an appropriation or pastiche. So you have two images to choose from. You have the girl with the pearl earring, right? You can choose from that one, or you can choose the Mona Lisa painting, right? So you choose one of them and you create a pastiche of it. So the girl with the pearl earring, or you can choose from the Mona Lisa painting, right? So you create a pastiche of one of these. These are the images. They were sent to you, so you have a copy of it in Google Classroom. So all you need to do is to download it. You can use different apps to do your editing. So you just need to go on Google Play Store and you need to download an editing app, or you can even use Snapchat to help you with your edits, but I want them to be very creative. I don't want you to just add one thing and then call it quits for the day. Alright, so you need to ensure that you apply a lot of edits, but I'm supposed to still see the original. So I'm going to show you an example of the work that I did. So I first labeled the work to let you know that Mr. Johnson did it. So here is a sample of the work Mr. Johnson did. I placed the original image on the left, and I then placed my pastiche on the right. So what I did was I downloaded the image, I crop the image to the head, from the head down to the chest area, and that is the section that I saved. I then use the editing app Photoshop to create a hand and a phone to let it look like the person is taking a selfie. I then also downloaded the tongue and the dog ear and the nose from the Snapchat feature. I printed them, and then I also printed the image that I cropped and saved, and then I started to cut out and paste them in my scrapbook. Right, so I first paste the image that I cropped, and then I started to paste the Snapchat features there. Then I use a marker to draw over the eyes, and I draw a smiley face on there as well. So basically the theme that I went with here was a Snapchat selfie theme, right? So you can see that coming out. All of this was also brightened so that it could match the hands, because the hands was a little bit lighter than the entire image. So all you have to do, student, is to make sure that you go in the pictures, whichever one of the pictures, one of the two you have to choose from, and make your edits, make them count, and also ensure that you add something to it. You can take the approach that I did, whereas you download and print and paste and cut out. You can use here, you can use crayons on it, you can use markers, you can put literal here in terms of eyelashes, anything that will work for the image in creating your pastiche.